can't see without you.
Before we get started with today's video, I kind of want to touch on a couple things here. This video is obviously a couple years old. I say obviously. If you're new to the channel, you wouldn't know that. But if you're not new, you know that I currently drive a Bass Cat. And otherwise, we're usually fishing out of Alex's brand new Nitro. But here I'm fishing out of my 1998, I think is what it was, Bass Tracker that I had. Throughout the video, you'll see that my trolling motor pedal is actually in a garbage bag. Out of nowhere, my trolling motor foot pedal just fried itself. So luckily I was camping with my grandpa, who happened to be on a trip up north as well. He helped me jury rig some little bell, like doorbell whistle thing on it. But we fried it once because the bell switch was only for a 12 volt. And I was trying to run it through a 24 volt system. We had to re-rig it, make it a 12 volt system, and then I also wanted to waterproof it because I wasn't sure, you know, if it was gonna sprinkle on me at all in the morning. It was calling for a potentially chance of rain. I could not obviously afford in a tournament like this one for my trolling motor to go out. Another fun fact about this tournament was actually that I had found a crack in my boat. Not sure when it happened. I just brought the boat back to the campground today, and it was leaking all night long, and I was like, it should have been dried off by now. Come to find out, there was a gash that was probably 6 or 7 inches long on the bottom of my hole. So I was consistently flipping the bilge on and off all day, on top of the broken trolling motor, on top of it being my first solo tournament ever. I had also never fished for smallmouth bass in a tournament like this before, never spawn fished before, so this was really a whole lot of firsts for me. I was stressed out the whole entire day. This was a huge learning event for me, especially with, you know, how to manage all of the same things at the same time without having a partner there to help you. I'm actually gonna do something a little bit different with this video. There won't be quite as many memes involved in it. I actually had the camera in the waterproof case because I had forgotten the usual mount that I have for it for my chest mount at home, so I had really fuzzy audio the whole time. So I'm just gonna put music behind it and kind of narrate kind of what's going on, since I'm talking obviously in the video, but you won't be able to hear it, and it's super gross sounding. So we're gonna try something a little bit new here, and there's just gonna be a lot of voiceovers popping in and out. So hopefully you still enjoy it. We will go from there, but hope you enjoy. So this was the furthest bed out from everybody else that I had marked. There's 3 or 4 boats in this little area. I'd found, I think, 9 beds on it before. So this is just me pulling up to the first one. I was trying to be respectful of their distance and not crowd guys, but I didn't quite know how spawning tournaments worked, and you see I bust that fish off instantly. I'm not sure if it was a bad leader or what I'd done, but I instantly pick up one of my other like 3 or 4 pre-rigged drop shot rods and pitch right back in there.
Hi, Jimmy's mom.
This is my first solo derby, first smallmouth spawning derby, so it was a whole lot of work to figure out how to organize the boat with the cooler from being alone for a week and eating food, and the net and everything else. Luckily, the boat that's sitting right there in the screen is one of my friends from another college. I had asked him if I could come in there and fish with him, and he said yes, and another boat pulled off as soon as I pulled in, and we're just sharing beds at this point. So obviously some of these beds were pretty obvious. There were some man-made spawning structures. This was not one of those, but it was right next to those, and as you can see, the bed is quite obvious. Like I said, this other boat and I were friends. It was my buddy from Western. He was fishing with his girlfriend, and we were just kind of showing each other fish the whole entire time, having a good time fishing next to each other.
You too fine to be laying down in bed alone. I can teach you how to speak my language, Rosetta Stone. I swear this life is like the sweetest thing I've ever known. Just like the day that I met you, the day I thought forever, said that you love me, but that'll last forever.
Not sure what happened with my camera here, but I ended up cutting off, so just gave you a quick little view of the fish, at least when I had recognized halfway through the fight that it had popped off. This bed I saw from a distance. I didn't initially have it marked, so I just kind of strolled over to it, and right about here I saw that there was an absolute giant on it, and I thought it bit first, drop right through here. As I set the hook on it, I can still see her sitting in the bed, and I've hooked up with what's about a 4-pound male. So if you take a peek here, you can actually see her still sitting in the bed. That's not the edge of a rock. That is the probably 6 or 7 pound smallmouth that I thought I was going to hook. Obviously, the big female did not stay on the bed. She definitely obviously wouldn't as I drift over it here. Like I said, this was my first spawning tournament, so I did not quite know how to manage the boat and making sure I catch the fish and all those kinds of things. I was just really worried about getting this big male in the boat here.
Still falling for you. When darkness turns to light, it ends tonight. It ends tonight. Just a little insight will make this right. It's too late to fight. It ends tonight. I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. I get my weed from California. That's that shit. I told my chick up to the north, yeah. Badass bitch. I get my light right from the source, yeah.
Once I ran out of beds, I ran down the lake a ways. Me and the other boat had split all of those beds, and I boated 4 fish and he boated 5 of them, so I was completely out of beds. I found this fish way down the lake like 2 days before that and was just hoping that it would bite for me again because I remembered that it was a nice one. Obviously, again, having that trouble is because I didn't quite know how to prepare myself. It's a huge learning curve when you're trying to fish on your own versus without a partner.
You gotta spend some time, love. You gotta spend some time.
After this nice fish, I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I had expected to catch all of those fish, all of the 9 in that one area, not processing that other people could probably find it. So I just kind of started running down the lake. I just started running every other bed I had found. Most of these fish I had not caught, so I didn't know quite how big they were. I had just seen a nice fish on a bed and just kind of started making sure I fished all of them as I moved my way down the lake. This fish here was definitely big enough to get rid of that first little one that I had caught first thing in the morning that I had snapped off instantly on.
She acts like summer and walks like rain, reminds me that there's time to change it. I can't seem to say goodbye. Ooh. When I try to fall back, I fall back to you. When I talk to my friends, I talk about you. When the Hennessy's strong,
time, bitch.
You don't need no reason why. Maybe we're perfect strangers. Maybe it's not forever. Maybe the night will change it. Maybe we'll stay together. Maybe we'll walk away. Maybe you'll realize we're only human. Maybe we don't need no reason why. Oh, this ancient skies. I've had these wandering eyes, but you took me by surprise.
This fish in this little clip here was actually the first fish that I wanted to stop on. I had 2 or 3 really nice fish in this little pocket, but as I had driven by it, all of the boats that passed me, 3 of those like 6 or 7 boats that passed me were already sitting on this spot, so I just figured I'd move on and revisit it later in the day and see if it was still there, and lucky for me, this fish still was.
Smoking cigarettes on patios. I was drinking beer with my friends. I was trying to boogie down the night. Vodka with the Sprite. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patio. I was throwing money in the air. Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. Here we go again. Hey, hey. Cody got me tripping. Got the move. Walk a roof in his head. Ice. Lemonade, my never living. Ice. Lemonade, my never living. Cody got me tripping. Got the move. Walk a roof in his head. Ice. Lemonade, my never living. Ice. Lemonade, my never living. Oh, there's something going strong. Make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30.
At this point, I'm just absolutely freaking out. I have never caught this many big smallmouth in my life at this point. I'm even taking a picture of the fish I'm letting go because I can't believe how crazy of a day I'm having.
I like us better when we're wasted. It makes it easier to think. The only time we really talk is when our clothes are coming off. I like us better when we're wasted. Oh.
It's only 12:30, but I don't care.
I don't believe that this fish actually ended up helping me out. I had spent a good 15-20 minutes on it because I thought it was a lot bigger than it was. Obviously, I'm not going to complain about anything, you know, any giant smallmouth that's over 3 pounds. I'm not going to cry about. On this cast, I actually ended up getting my drop shot hung up on the rock, and I'm trying to shake it off, and then I see the fish come out of nowhere, then it ends up actually eating my drop shot off of the rock that its bed was on and swimming off with it, and then I just obviously had this hook set on it and started fighting it.
Still, no matter where I go, at the end of every road, you were good to me. You were good to me. Yeah. We could have had it all with you.
The other funny part about this fish was that I actually ended up snapping it off right before this, and just grabbed the last rod that I had pre-rigged up and just cast it right out there and actually rehooked the fish and ended up catching it with the old drop shot hanging from its mouth still. This run was actually so long for my little tracker I had to stop and get gas on the way back just so I could have enough gas to make it back to the boat launch, which was also something new for me. I never quite made a run like that in my life. Here is a quick little sneak peek at all of the fish I caught this week. I believe that these are all of the bass that I weighed in. So there you have it. Quick change of venue here in the office. Really quick, just recording the outro. I ended up weighing just shy of 20 pounds, which at the time was my biggest tournament bag ever. I think my big bass only went 4 pounds. Big bass for the tournament was like 5.5. So I wasn't even close to that, but I ended up barely breaking through the top 10. I think I finished in 9th in this tournament. The bottom 5 was pretty close to each other, but the top 2 guys had like 22 and 23 pounds, so they definitely earned it. Like I said, a lot of firsts this tournament, so I'll take the top 9 in this, what I would consider a successful tournament against 50 other guys, especially that are the same talent level as me. So Stay tuned. Like I said, a little bit different video today. I'm going to keep popping out a bunch of shorts here and at least provide quick content for you guys. But I will see you soon. Have a good day.